It's late September in beautiful Grand Teton National Park. I'm Terry Thomas with NatureTrack.com. Behind me, you can see the Tetons. In front of me is a place that's rarely visited within the park. It's called Elk Ranch Reservoir. Along the edge of this reservoir, I found some wolf tracks that were made when the mud was very soft. Today we're going to go down and take a look at these tracks and see if we can make a plaster cast of them. After looking at dozens of tracks along the shoreline here, I've selected this track as the one I want to try to make a plaster cast of. You can see how large this track is when you compare it to my multi-tool down there, which is 8 inches long tip to tip. So this is a pretty good sized track. Okay, right here I've got all the tools I need to make a plaster cast. I've got my plaster, I've got some water to mix it with, I've got a form to help hold it in, and I've got some wire to make a hook to hang it by. And for this track, because this is so large, I've got some reinforcing wire. Now I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the inside of that frame to help it keep from sticking to the frame. Now normally, I'd mix, for a smaller track, I would mix in this Ziploc bag. But this is a big track, and I want to make sure I get plenty of plaster in there, even if I waste some. So I'm going to mix it in this tub instead. Now first thing I'm going to do is I want to clean out anything that I don't want in the final product. Like there's a leaf in the bottom here. I'm going to pull that leaf out. I'm going to set it aside. And there's a little bit of junk there that I don't want. So we get it all cleaned out. And then I'm going to figure out how I want to place my frame. Now I want to know where the top of that track is, so I put a notch in my frame. And now I know that that'll be the top, because that's where I'm going to want to put my hangers, towards the top. You can see that that frame will fit right inside that. So now we're going to go ahead and mix up some plaster. I'll put some plaster. That looks like that's probably about enough. And a little bit more. A little more is better than not enough. Give it a little bit more. See, I don't mind throwing a little bit away, as long as I get it mixed right. I'm going to have to find me a mixing stick. Now I found what looks to be like the perfect stirring stick. It's a piece of bison rib, and that's going to be perfect for stirring this up. I'm going to add some water. I'm going to stir. I'm going to try to get to the consistency of, oh, maybe thin peanut butter. Okay, you can see what I got there. You can see how runny that is. Now we're going to put that in the track. If I need to mix up more, I'll do that very quickly. And it kind of looks like I'm going to need more. Now I want to fill this entire frame. Now before I put any more in, I want to put this in. And I'm going to line it up, line this hook up with my notch, which is right there. And that'll go right through the frame, the wire mesh there. If you work it down in. Again, the bag works better. You can get a lot more out of the bag than you can scraping the bottom of the tub. If this were a grizzly size track, you'd probably need a 2-gallon Ziploc bag in order to fit. There's my notch right there, so I want to keep that kind of lined up with my notch. And I plan to hang this on the wall when I'm done. That's what I'm going to do with mine. And there we go. We'll let that dry, and I will see you in about 45 minutes. It's been about an hour, and this seems to have set up pretty hard. It's pretty hard on top. Now you may not be able to see from there, but while it was still wet, I carved in 2017 for the year, GTNP for Grand Teton National Park, and then I put the species, wolf. That's just because I wanted to do that. I probably could have done that at home with a Sharpie on the back when it was all dry as well, but I wanted it carved in, so that's what I did. And also while I was out, I found a really cool, we call these gargoyles, and this is from a bison, and it's the vertebrae that connects to the head, so the uppermost cervical vertebrae. Pretty cool. This being a national park, I can't take it with me, or I'd add it to my collection, but I think I'll take a photograph of it when I'm done here, and I'll add that photograph to my collection. That's one of the great things about doing tracks like this, is that you can take these home because you're not removing anything from the park. So it's a good way to take home a memory. Okay, I'm about ready to remove this track, and I brought this shovel along to help me loosen up around the edges so that I can peel this track out. We'll cross our fingers that this is going to work, that I've waited long enough. That's the hardest part, is the waiting. There we have it. We can peel away the dirt. The final cleanup of this will have to wait till I'm home. I want to give this good 24 hours to cure before I try to take off the band or do any real serious cleanup of it. So right now we'll just peel off the dirt and see what we've got down underneath that. Well, I can feel that that's really set up on the bottom there, so that's a good thing. I think about 45 minutes I could have done this, because I checked it at 45 minutes and it seemed very solid on top. But again, I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I gave it the extra time. Once I get this home, I'll get this really cleaned up, and this will be for me, this will be a trophy for my wall. These are pretty much the kind of trophies I like these days. Now let's dump the dirt off, and this is what we're getting right here. I'm really liking this. This is turning out great. You can see the toe pads very clearly, and you can see the toenails very clearly. That is going to be an awesome, awesome trophy for my wall. It will remind me for many years of this trip back here to Elk Ranch Reservoir and Ewell Hill, which is, you could see the hill behind me when I was zoomed out a little bit. There's actually, at times, there's a wolf den back here somewhere. wire for hanging, right where I wanted it to be. It's a little bit on the short side. I hope I didn't short myself too much. What works great for a hanging wire is a large paper clip. I think they call it a number 2 paper clip. And you just bend it and bury half of it into the plaster and take the other half out as your hook. They're strong and they're the right shape that you need for burying it and for hooking it to the wall. I just didn't happen to have one today. So there we go. That is one awesome track, one awesome predator. What do you think? Think you want to try that? It's easy to do, it's not that expensive, and it's a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please share it with your friends and hit the little like button down below. And come visit us on nature-track.com. That's nature-track.com. Don't forget the dash between nature and track. Thanks a lot.